What's going on YouTube? Jason Whitaker, DIY Dad. We are back for another video. Today we're in the front yard and we are going to do a review on my solar panel install and my review of working with Powerhome Solar so far in the process. All right, so I've been exploring solar panels for a while, trying to determine what I wanted to do. And I finally got a house that's facing the correct direction. So it's roughly 175, 178 degrees south facing roof right here. So that's ideal for a solar array on your home. Another thing that, the solar panel prices are finally starting to come down. So the bulk of my price for my system is the installation costs. So for a DIYer, this is something you can definitely do yourself if you're comfortable working on a roof, if you're comfortable working with electricity, and even hire a electrical contractor to help you with your install. All right, so like I said, I hired Powerhome Solar to do my solar install. What we ended up doing is 25 solar panels facing south on 2 roofs, and each solar panel is 370 watts. It's a sill fab solar panel. They're all black. They're not the black and white checker, so it blends pretty well on my roof. And what I like about them so far is with their direction, they're able to produce a lot of electricity. Another part of my solar installation is a power inverter. So what this does is it changes the direct current from the solar panels to alternating current, so DC power to AC power, and then we can feed that back into the grid. So what's also nice about what they did was there's no visible conduit from my roof. The only conduit that you see from my house is this conduit right here, and what they're able to do is wire everything through the attic. So this is the only visible conduit which is on the side of the house, which is really nice. So the 3 devices that you see in front of you, this one right here, this is a Generac power inverter. So this is what converts that DC power to AC power. I also have a solar shutoff. If somebody's got to work on my meter or my house, they have a way to shut off the solar electricity that's coming into the home. And then over here is my digital power meter. So right now, my system is producing 373 kilowatts, give or take. My home is using 3.24, 3.25 kilowatts. Right now we do have the air conditioning going. It's at a very comfortable 70 to 68 degrees inside the home. And you see that right now my home, you see that it just jumped up. So right now we're using 8.98, 8.88 kilowatts of energy. I know for a fact that my wife is doing laundry right now, so we have an electric dryer. So what you see here, this is what my home's using. This is what I'm pulling from the grid, and this is what my solar panels are producing. So right now it's a very cloudy day, and I'm only able to produce 3.03 kilowatts of energy on those 25 panels. And so I'm only pulling 5.98 of the 8.87, 9. You see it creeping up. So with their electric dryer, you can see that the solar's gone down a little bit. Now they do have an app for this that you can view all this data from your phone, which is pretty neat. Sorry about the shaking. I got this on a monopod. But on a sunny day, I know for a fact that my solar array, can pull, up to 12 kilowatts per hour. So I can overproduce on this home quite easily. Another thing that you have to consider when you're first hooking one of these power inverters up is you want to be in grid tie. According to the installer, you want to be in grid tie, and you want your system set up to where it's not exporting energy to the meter that's over here. And the reason why is if you're exporting from here to here and you don't have the bidirectional meter set up yet, what you're going to, this meter doesn't know if it's using energy or producing energy. So what it's going to do is just add all the solar energy that you're using from here to here, increasing your bill. So when you do the install, make sure that the export energy is turned off on here, okay? So that way you're not getting charged double for the energy consumption for your home. All right, so my system currently isn't set up to backfeed the grid. What that entails is the power company have to come out to my house. They have to inspect the work. I've already been inspected by the city. The city, gave me the approval and the sticker for my home. They said it was good to go, but the electric company, which is 9 Star Electric here in Central Indiana, has to come out and inspect my meter. So after they inspect the meter, what they'll do, right now my meter is a smart meter, but it's one direction right now. So it's omnidirectional. I think that's the correct term. So it's going in one direction. What they'll do next, after it's inspected and it's good to go, is they will change it from one direction to bi-directional, meaning that the electricity can go to the inverter, to the house, and then the solar energy can come back to the meter, backfeeding the grid when I'm not using as much energy. So I had my panels and the inverter installed on July 2nd of 2021, and since then, the very first day that they installed the solar arrays, the inverter, all of that went very quickly. They were able to install the 25 panels, the inverter, and have everything wired up in literally one day. Now it was a very long day. They showed up around 9 a.m. and they finished around close to 8 p.m. That night, but they were able to get it all done in one day. One hiccup that Powerhome had, and they should have caught it from the get-go, is when they installed the power inverter. Remember when I showed you earlier in the video of how much my house is producing? And I'll show you a picture right here. They install these things called CTs. And what it does is it tracks the amount of energy being used from the home from the panel. So your electric panel, if it's located in your basement or garage or wherever that is, so the CTs attached to the positive and negative, and it tracks how much energy you're using in your home based off of what your panel is drawing. My home has 2 panels, and it's 2 panels that are wired in directly to the meter right here. What they didn't account for was my second panel, so when they hooked up the CTs, they only did it to one panel and not both. So I was not able to accurately pull data from the app or this inverter right here, showing me exactly how much energy my house was using. A big thing about that is my second panel has my air conditioner on it, and it is in the middle of July, so it was not accurately showing me my home usage, and currently with the current setup, it wasn't offsetting my electric as much as it should have. So that was the first miss with Powerhome Solar. I had to talk to numerous people about it. Powerhome finally sent out somebody, and then I also read the manual on this inverter, and you can wire the CTs in something called, they get wired in parallel, and there is room for 2 CTs in this power inverter, which the original installers told me that couldn't happen, but I was able to find that data in the actual manual by downloading it from Google. Looked it up. They actually hooked up both CTs now to both my panels after some debate with some of the electric guys that came out. Talked to the engineer over email, which he concurred that I should have 2 CTs as well. So my number 2 issue that I had with Powerhome Solar was on the day of install, July 2nd. They were supposed to come out and have blown insulation into my home the day of the install with my panels. They said they were going to do it all on the same day. Well, nobody showed up to do the insulation work. So I called my concierge. When you work with Powerhome Solar, you do get concierge, and when I was first issued a concierge, it made me feel very comfortable about this whole process, that they were going to take care of everything. But I had to follow up with the concierge and said, the solar panels look great, the inverter's up, but nobody stopped by to do the installation work. So right now, before that, I had 12 inches of insulation. They were supposed to come in and blow another 6, so I have a total of 18 in the attic to try to help with the heating and cooling of the home and keep that heat and cool in. Well, I scheduled the second appointment with my concierge, and again, no show. So pretty upset that nobody showed up for the second time. I contacted my concierge again, told him how this wasn't acceptable. Then next morning at 6:45 in the morning, I get a phone call from one of the installers saying, "Hey, we're coming out to your house to do the installation work." So eventually they made it right, but 2 no-shows when they were supposed to come out and do the installation work. At the time, you do get a little upset, especially when I was going back and forth with the installers about putting the 2 CTs on the inverter for both my panels, so I can accurately read the data that's coming into the home and the usage for my home that makes all this worth it. So what my concierge did do, and it worked out pretty well, was when they had the inspector come out from the city to inspect the work all over here in the wiring and make sure everything was done correctly and safely. So that was done right. First appointment made, the inspector showed up on time. The Powerhome solar people came out to meet the inspector to walk him through exactly what was done. So me as the homeowner, I didn't have to walk the inspector through what was done. They had somebody from their company come out and do that for me. So that was good. Another thing is, if your salesperson tells you that, hey, when you get this Powerhome solar, we're going to get you a Nest thermostat, we're going to wrap your water heater to help save energy, and get you some LED bulbs. Here's a breakdown of how that worked out for me. So they did do the wrap on my water heater, which is like a thin solar blanket that they wrap and tape around your water heater. It's not very fancy. And then they give you a box. And in this box, there's light bulbs, there's water aerators, there's some shower heads, and then your Nest thermostat. So if you saw my previous video that I installed a Nest thermostat, the reason that I had to install the Nest thermostat is because I was under the impression from my salesperson that Powerhome was going to install the Nest thermostat on my home. They're not going to install it, or they didn't do it here if they were supposed to. So I installed the Nest thermostat myself. So I was under the impression that they were going to take care of everything. When it came to the Nest thermostat, they didn't do that. So if you're in the same predicament that I am, or I was, when you get that Nest thermostat, watch my video. I'll put the eye up now so you can see how to install the Nest thermostat. It's very easy to do, and you can see if it's compatible with your home. All right, so today it is July 21st. We had the install on this on July 2nd. I was hoping to have, and the reason for the delay of this video is I was hoping to have my energy company come out and do their inspection and change this to bi-directional, so I can give you a reading on my home usage accurately. So far, my energy company hasn't come out, but when I contacted my energy company to see, when they were coming out, if Powerhome Solar actually contacted them, and they told me that nobody from Powerhome Solar has contacted them about, changing my meter or having that inspected. So that's my next gripe with Powerhome, was they were very quick to get my solar panel installed. I got HOA approval on a Friday, and they were out Tuesday to install the solar panels and the inverter. And then within a week after that, they were very quick to get the city officials out to inspect the work here to make sure that was good to go. But after that, nothing. Haven't heard anything. I did sent an email to my concierge complaining about the fact that nobody has contacted me about working on my meter. Nobody has contacted me about changing this to bi-directional so my system could be fully active. They can come out here very quickly and install the solar panels, but they weren't very quick on swapping out this meter for me yet, so I can't give you an accurate measurement and give you all the numbers that a lot of people are looking for on when they're considering adding solar array to their home. My review of Powerhome Solar so far is so-so. I think they have some room for improvement. Right now, I wouldn't tell anybody not to use Powerhome Solar. So far, my concierge is trying to work through things. I don't know roadblocks that he's seeing at this point, but they were able to put my solar panels up quick. The engineer was able to design it pretty quickly. They did handle all the HOA paperwork and getting all that submitted. They did do all the permitting to get the solar panel array up. So all those things are very good. So you might ask me, how much did my solar system cost? It's roughly $52,000 for my solar array in its current setup. I did not do the battery. The battery would have been an extra $20,000. With the battery system, there's a common misconception that if you have a battery, it backs up your home. With the Generac battery, with the $20,000, it only backs up 3 breakers. So if 3 breakers is all you need during a power outage, maybe that'll work for you. But with my home, as much energy as it uses, the battery backup did not make sense to only back up 3 things in my home during a power outage. So I know battery technology is getting better. It's getting cheaper, so I'll wait to do the batteries. But so far it's pretty neat to be able to see from my phone how much solar my panels are using. I'll put a quick screenshot up right now to show you what that looks like in terms of what the app looks like. So I'll put that up, but it's pretty neat. I feel good about my home producing its own power. I definitely believe that once we get these bi-directional metering put up, that I'll be able to get a more accurate measure of what my solar power or my solar array is producing for my home. So hopefully that happens soon. So if you like this type of content, please make sure that you like and subscribe. I do all kinds of DIY things. And as of this morning, I also hit 1,000 subscribers. So a huge thank you to everybody that subscribed to my channel and has been following along with me in the journey for this home that we just bought in last December of 2020. So yeah, thanks. It means a lot. I've been doing YouTube for maybe a total of 6 months. We started in February on this journey. So it really means a lot that all these people are following my channel, and hopefully you're able to learn some things. I'm out here trying to do videos, not only to vlog and take record of the things that I'm doing, but to also help others that are out there doing similar things that I'm doing. Either it's updating the home, doing projects, working on the lawn, or considering doing something major to a home like an upgrade, such as doing a solar array. So I think solar is definitely a way to go for producing energy for your own home. If you're looking out west right now, the news so far this summer out west is crazy with all the fires. Lake Mead going super low. They're talking about reducing energy that comes out of that Hoover Dam. That's going to affect millions of people. So to be able to produce your own electricity to either offset or to produce all your own electricity like I'm doing here, that's something that I think we as Americans need to start considering. We can't fully trust the grid that they can support our energy needs, and if you want just the grid to support your energy needs, that's going to come at a price. They're already talking about in California and Nevada, parts of Arizona, increasing electricity costs by upwards to 18%. That's real money. Um, that's that's going to hurt some people. So if you're able to offset those increases in electricity costs by producing your own electricity for your home, do it. Your home, it's a roof that keeps you dry, but if it could also help produce electricity and make money, to where you don't have money going out of pocket for electricity, because even though that this cost me $52,000, I can offset this. And after we do the billing period and figure out what that offset, I can give you a timeline on when the payback is going to be on this solar system. On net metering, I can display, all right, in so many years, which I don't know yet, in so many years this solar system is going to pay itself off, and after that it's just generating energy, and that's less money out of pocket. If you're watching the news, if you're watching trends, you know that electric vehicles are going to be the new normal. Well, how do you charge a vehicle that's electric? You plug it in. And if you plug it in, you're pulling energy from the grid. That's just increasing costs on your electric bill. What if you can do it all without having to pay the markup on your electricity, the increase in cost of energy every year, 2-3%, possibly going up 18% because the Hoover Dam can't produce enough electricity. How much is that going to cost when most of our vehicles are going to go electric? Just ask yourself some of those questions. Think about what's going to happen in 5, 10, 15 years while you're living in your home. Invest in your home. So thank you for watching. I'm the Jason Whitaker, the DIY Dad. And again, thank you for those 1,000 subscriptions plus. It really, really means a lot to me. I think my next video, we're going to talk about doing the lawn update, because we got an oversee project coming up, and hopefully I can give you guys an update on where I am with my solar panel journey, and I can actually give you real good data. Right now I just can't give it to you. I wish I could, but until that meter is installed, I can't really give you that. So thank you for following along. Hopefully those two things will come along, and I'll catch you in the next video.